So here we are, guys. We're going to walk into the area that we're calling West Side Story. As you can see, I did some dropping. You'll see in the post that you might have seen coming over to this video. We had this buckthorn right here in the front. We also had a catalpa, which we do have a couple in here that I did find. Also some surprises I found up in here, which is going back to why it is key. Why it is key, guys, to identify what species you're cutting down. As you can see, this is going to be West Side Story location. We talked about this in our apple tree spot. Was going to do an example on that, but I got in here first because I had easy conditions getting up in here. But I want to talk about this area and what we're doing for wildlife today rather than planning on what we're doing for it tomorrow. We're going to do it twofold. So what I'm up in here doing, and this will make it a lot easier with the mini excavator up in here, is I went in and I started cutting. As you can see, hopefully you can see the video, started cutting the honeysuckle, chopping it out, knocking the honeysuckle down, and all these ash that were predominantly in here are dropped. And look at this, right at deer browse level. There was some stuff in here that I left right away. There was a couple dogwoods, some red dogwood in here. I did leave that because that is getting annihilated. Actually, there's some right here. Look at this red dogwood. If you have red dogwood on your property this time of the year, look at that browse. Every one of them. I did find one in here that I did chop down, whether we'll get to it or not, but look at all that browse. Every one of them stems on red dogwood. Prime time winter forage. They'll eat it down to the ground. It'll come back every year. It's beautiful, guys. So I wish I did a before video walking through here. I dropped, and I say trees lightly, but I dropped probably 30 or 40 trees. They'll probably cut 10 or 15 honeysuckle bushes or so. I didn't get all of them out of here. There will be some stuff that will be controlled more with the mowing after we get the bulk of it moved. So you can see all these nice tops down in here. Possible stand location for a different wind for this spot too that works out real nice. But look at all this ash that we got down in here. And then look at, there's our sumacs we were talking about in the video. And also right here, we cut down a catalpa that was leaning off of this big guy here. We're going to leave that because I like the diversity. Because there wasn't a whole lot of it in here. There was ash. There was this maple, which I was just getting ready to cut when I was cutting a honeysuckle around the bottom of it. You can see I'd cleaned it out. And then what happened was my chain jumped my bar. But look at all this high quality catalpa browse right here at eye level. I mean, putting hundreds of pounds of food. Look at all the stems. Hundreds of pounds of food in the deer's eyes. I wish there was snow in here so you could see the impact this is going to be overnight. There was a butternut in here. There's a butternut right here that I cut down. That's similar to a walnut. As well as there's, like I said, mostly ash is what I cut of the, trees this size. 4 to maybe, we'll call them 12. I think was maybe the biggest one I cut. This catalpa was pretty big. Butternut right here that I cut down. And then the sumac we were talking about in the apple tree video. We had this. This is going to be good for our grouse that we do have on this property, as well as our turkeys. The deer are going to utilize the bud ends. These are actually female sumac. The males are up the hill here. You can kind of see the tops of them right there. These are a single sex tree, so you need males and females to make viable seeds for that. But this will all be browsed back. I mean, the deer will probably eat this down to here or so. More ash, and then I did leave a couple females because this is going to be a natural kind of browse plot. This will have a cereal grain on it. Then I cut this beech, and I knew that was going to end up hanging up that maple or maybe making it spin funny, and I was just cutting that honeysuckle out. You can see just on the other side of my glove when I was getting ready to cut down this red maple right here. I was going to send that red maple over, but like I said, I was cutting that honeysuckle, and just as I finished, it pinched and my chain spun off. But let's go up here quick because we also want to talk about not only what we're doing for the wildlife with this, but what we're doing looking at it for tomorrow. So let's get up here, hopefully before I lose video service. Here is our apple tree. I already did cut the buckthorn. That was my first thing, is cut the invasives. Was my first goal with this, but look at all that browse we talked about with the grapevines. Lots of grapevines in there. Anything around these couple trees I left I cut the grapevines out of them as well, so that doesn't break them down or spread. You can see the grapevines in here, cut them, as well as sending it over with the briar as the rest of the trees are settling a little bit in there. But I didn't hinge cut any of these trees. It might look like it. This one was just too heavy, but that'll rip right out with the excavator. But the rest of those I flush cut on the stump for that. So, and you can see the nice tower blind right there. So anyway, so this is our apple tree. I did not get around to it. I still got about another hour plus in here, but I gotta get going because we got leagues tonight at Heritage Outdoor Sports. But what we would do with this tree to start, talked about eliminating that competition from that sunlight during the day. Most of that will be down. That maple is going to be coming too. Remember, we're going to leave that box elder. I do like that tree. I said I was going to cut it in the video, but we're going to leave that.